不好意思，大家久等了。Hello， 喂，我是真本哲爷，又再度为大家开实况转播的服务了。这也是真本实况台。今天是连续假期的第一天，对我自己而言啊，我不知道大家什么时候放假，也许是明天才开始放。因为我今天礼拜五并没有排课，所以我就可以在这边开实况啦。然后接下来可能今天开完实况之后，不知道下次什么时候才会开，也许是后天，不对，也许是后天，也有可能是礼拜一才会开，然后可能开学之后过没几个礼拜之后，就有可能会越来越忙，所以开的机会只会越来越少。请大家珍惜我真本实况台可以开直播的时间，然后有空的话，记得来按下我版面的 YouTube 进入我 YouTube 的页面，然后按下您的订阅，然后如果喜欢我的观众朋友，也可以按Twitch追踪我，谢谢大家。真的是好久没有开了，不知道是多久之前才开过台。我按照传奇球星的队伍去了。好，就这样吧。
Thanks for joining us. Time to get ready for NBA action on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It'll be Kyrie Irving and the Cleveland Cavaliers facing off against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And now our broadcast swings out to Oracle Arena, where Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr will have the call. Welcome everyone to the Golden State, Oakland, California, the home of the Warriors as they prepare for right here. Welcome to the NBA. Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg for 2K Sports for this Friday afternoon broadcast.
有Klay Thompson，也有 Stephen Curry。
Thompson at the 4 and Curry Shaw at the 5. Irving and Waiters in the back, and it's Miles at the small forward position. And for Golden State,
Barnes and Lee, they make up the four. Steph Curry and Thompson net in the backcourt. And it's Bogut, and it's the 5 roaming the paint.
You know, the interesting story a year ago with Golden State was promising season ticket holders that they would make the playoffs. Overboard a little bit because the Warriors team just wasn't quite talented enough to fulfill that promise. And anytime you put yourself out on a limb like that, it can be dangerous. You're now in a vulnerable spot.
Hey.
On the move. Touch shot.
一开始就先玩一下对上试一下我的手气。
And to be fair, the Warriors were in a position of life where they had a chance in the
不然我的
playoffs.
手感真的不是
Go
很
back
好。
some time now, but the injuries just put them out of contention.
Yeah, it really did. And although it derailed them a bit, it showed the
一开始就被
value
三
of
分。
depth, something the Warriors wanted to address this offseason. And they still have playoff ambitions because of that.
Now, here's Curry. The feed now to Thompson. There's the dish to Lee. Outside Curry. Fires for 3. That's
哦，
good.
好啊，漂亮！
Here's Irving.
电玩的 Curry 也蛮厉害的。
Westbrook for an up there.
Look, Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Mark Jackson. I asked him if there was an X
还有
factor,
真棒！
a player that couldn't
哎呦，法拉加得分。
He said it would have to be Tristan Thompson, the power forward out of Texas. He said Thompson is still developing from a skill standpoint, but his motor is really off the charts. You always have to find him and get a body on him when the shot goes up because the guy never takes a play off. Guys, they've been forewarned. We'll see if they take it to
好
the
球！
Thanks for that story.
漂亮，好，
Yeah, not
还有
just
真
an
棒。
everyday finish. Put a little pizzazz on that one, guys. Well, for Stephen Curry, ankle troubles were a major problem for him last season. He'd actually undergone surgery to repair his right ankle going into the year, but started off the season spraining it 3 times in a 2-week period.
Raiders no luck. On defense, the Cavaliers. It's Curry with the drive. Thompson pass to Curry. Shot denied. Cavaliers have won 2 of 3 here to start off the game. And again, going back to Curry, apparently because of the way he runs, he's a little more prone, they say, Clark, 2 ankles sprain.
Yeah, you know, biomechanically, he had some issues with his feet, so he had to change the shoes he wears and how he's taped. He did everything possible to address the issue, and it's just a matter of time if they found the right solution.
Here's Curry. Following the basket by Kyrie Irving.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Here's Farishon.
这家伙
We see him get so
真的太嚣张了。
because the effort is there constantly on the offensive glass.
Curry outside. Another miss by Curry.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it. Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
Miles, that's good.
They're
Yeah,
clicking
Miles.
offensively.
Buckaroo.
Nice rhythm here, coming out strong. Shooting an excellent percentage. That's why they've got the lead.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Over Waiters. Thompson misses.
没有手感，糟了。
The Cavaliers leading by 7.
How about the trade that Cleveland made a year and a half ago with the Clippers? And they basically gave up Mo Williams. They got Baron Davis and the #1 overall pick in the draft, which turned into Kyrie Irving. So, pretty good exchange there.
Bogut gets to Lee. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. You know the Cavaliers released Baron Davis, freeing up cap space. Davis, of course, eventually signed with the New York Knicks. It really helped them accelerate in Cleveland, Clark, the rebuilding process. And of course, that being from where you're from, I'm sure you can really identify with what they're trying to do, and you know, you have a soft spot in heart for them.
Without question, Cleveland is my hometown. I always want to see that team do well, and a fresh start, good young rookies, cap space, they're on their way.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Rush comes in for Barnes, and Jared Jack is subbed in for Steph Curry. Here's Caspi, takes it up for the Steph.
You know, the dunk was great, but I didn't care for that interior defense there, guys. It was non-existent.
You're right, Clark. You know, it was way too easy. I don't think the coach liked it either. Look at that face.
It doesn't get easier than that. They have got to tighten up their defense. That was embarrassing.
Here's Rush. The Cavaliers making the shot. Thompson for the triple. Shot is no good. 1:10 left here in the opening quarter. Here's Waiters. Moves back up. They get it again.
He's really struggling in this quarter right now. They
连续传前面。
the ball out of his hand.
Rush dishes the lead. Golden State moving it around. He dishes it to Thompson. There's the three. Gets it to go.
终于进了，好球！
The Cavaliers lead by 4. And Gibson kicks to Waiters. And he throws it down with one hand.
I like that one-handed spike right there.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
Yes, sirree. Yeah, he's not going to miss many of those.
Jack passes to Rush. Landry, outside Jack. Shoots the three. And the shot is
漂亮，好球！
30 seconds left to play here in the first. Cavaliers have gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. Gibson with it. Now Jack defending. And the foul on Jared Jack. That's his first foul. Andres Biedrins, he's checked in for the Warriors. Barnes comes in for Klay Thompson. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Zeller. Tristan Thompson comes in for Samardo Samuels. CJ Myers, he's checked in for Castro. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Waiters. He feeds it to Rush. There's the pass to Barnes. Biedrins is free. And we're found.
啊，可恶，差一点。
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Cavaliers on top, up by 3. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And taking a look at the Cavaliers' performance here, Clark, Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
A lot of hard work being put in on the glass. This is a very physical team. They're doing a nice job in the paint. Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job gang rebounding too, Steve. Everybody's boxing out down there. You know, the Warriors would have loved to have made the playoffs last year, but after hanging around in the playoff chase for the season, basically decided to pack it in and get ready to rebuild for next year. I think that's the right move.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving is out there with Daniel Gibson. Then there's Caspi, then it's Tyler Zeller, and it's Samuels in at the foursome. Some changes for Golden State. Andrew Bogut checked in for Biedrins. And Lee subbed in for Carl Landry. Here's Gibson. He passes to Zeller. Gets it to go. Zeller's got his first 2 points. Yes, the Warriors had a lot of ground to make up when they made the decision to start playing those rookies. Still, you know, would have been nice for the fans to be able to get the Oracle Arena rocking once again. Still the great fans out there, Steve, but they're obviously looking to the future.
Well, that's one of the reasons they made the big trade with Monte Ellis going to Milwaukee for Andrew Bogut. They're trying to improve their defense. They're trying to get bigger and stronger. They've got an unbelievable fan base in the Bay Area.
太大意了，漂亮。
Massive, some good talent. I think the future is bright for Golden State.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
One thing we know about the Warriors is Stephen Curry. He's just a tremendous shooter and on pace to be one of the greats. Teammate Klay Thompson said, I really marvel the way Steph can shoot the ball. He's really consistent with his jumper. Shooting's my specialty. I gotta give it to his level. Kevin, that'll take some work.
And Klay also off to a great start in his career shooting the ball.
好球！对呀，对呀。
Well, you look at Mark Jackson. I think he's got a ton of potential as a head coach. He was a great point guard in this league, one of the all-time leading assist makers in NBA history, and a really good person. Has wonderful feel for people, good communicator. He's got a chance to be really good.
And the Warriors making a change here. Rush is checked in, and Cleveland also making a change. Irving's checked in.
Well, if anything, Thompson has been an even better shooter in the pros than he was in college. Maybe because people aren't focused on him as much offensively. But he has a beautiful stroke, and he's a deadeye from the three-point line.
But Steve, even when he's closely guarded, he has the confidence and focus to knock it down. Here's Rush. Dion Waiters his last shot. Thompson misses. And Steve, we talked about Mark Jackson's potential as a coach. New to the profession, but a long-time playing career as a point guard. He was a leader, so he recognizes that. How do you think he'll be, as he continues on? He'll be successful?
I do, Kevin. He communicates well. We talked about the fact that he was a broadcaster. Obviously speaks well and is funny, and I think that's important as a coach. He's also very demanding. He knows what he wants. Biggest thing is he has to get players. And, when he came in last year, Golden State was very low, didn't have that much talent, but they're starting to build that talent base, and I think Mark will grow with this team.
Now here's Gibson, guarded close. Accurate with the jumper from the elbow. And the Cavaliers lead by 3. Outside check.
只有外线比人家厉害而已。
Rush has got 5 points so far.
He's going to take that shot every time if he has that much room to get it off.
Pretty difficult to play in the shadow of LeBron James in Cleveland, but Kyrie Irving sure looked comfortable in that role with the Cavaliers. And as they play over the next couple of years, they'll continue to add talent. And with Irving at the helm, I think they've got a chance to be a solid team for a long time to come.
Field goal percentage has been bumped up into the high 50s now.
Well, they should be winning, shooting the ball like
干得好。
very efficient offense we're seeing out of this
这样
club.
这只是调整手感的对战，但是对我的例行赛而言也很重要。一天的手感决定了往后的胜负。
He finished the year injured, Kevin, but he sure didn't look like a rookie last year. Had an old man's game in terms of maturity, poise, composure, understanding, and proved himself to be fairly clutch late in games.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut checked in for Beatrice. Lee comes in for Carl Landry. And Steph Curry subbed in for Jarrett Jack. Zeller is checked in for the Cavaliers. Caspi comes in for Lakers. Here's Caspi. Here's Zeller. Can't get it to go.
啊，惨了！我起不掉啊，起就劲啊！
Jarrett Jack is checked in for Golden State. Samuels is in for Cleveland. 1:46 left to play here in the half.
Guys, I think the
Bogut.
question with Andrew Bogut is can he stay healthy?
Later,
He's
nice,
been able to
yeah.
play. He's been very productive.
Miles.
He can score down on the low block, but he just hasn't been able to consistently string healthy seasons together.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you hear?
Well, fellas, a lot of
剩下6秒了。
area about the direction of the Golden State Warriors. New ownership, a talented roster, and a new waterfront arena on the horizon. But as far as attracting big-name free agents, there's still work to be done. Point guard Steph Curry said, quote, "We're playing an exciting brand of basketball. We're unselfish, and we have high character guys on this team. Hopefully, we can start enticing some guys to come play here. But it's a process of convincing the league that this is a winning organization. The reputation
说
we've
到我
had
们的
in the
罚球
past
真的是不太理
is
想，
dead.
今天没有一球罚进的，真的是没有一球
Seem
罚
to be
进。
headed in the right direction with a good core attempt. And now Bogut getting a fresh start with the new team. He's hoping to, put those injuries behind him.
Yeah, and if he can stay healthy, Kevin, he's a dominant. I think he can be a dominant player. He passes it well. He can block shots. He rebounds effectively.
空手，哎呀！
The issue is just his health. If he's healthy, he'll be a factor.
Here's Miles. The big dunk at the end of the break.
Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Stevie is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish.
好球！也已经获得11分了。
Seems to be getting better as this game goes on.
Knocks it loose.
That's the risky run by Steve out there as he picks up his third.
The Cavaliers have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight.
And it's something they know that if they improve, can really have a big impact on their success.
First one falls for them.
You know, there have been rumblings, guys, that the Warriors are looking at a return to San Francisco, maybe building a new stadium across the bay. But we'll see how that goes. That's a very difficult thing to do these days to secure the finances necessary and permits through the city. So we'll see what ends up happening. Either way, we know the Warriors will be extremely popular in the Bay Area. Nice putback. That's why you want guys working hard on the boards and both ends of the floor.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Thompson dishes to Waiters. Gibson all alone. The Warriors pull it in. Lee's got his third rebound tonight. And Thompson kicks to Bogut. Mr. Curry got a piece of it. Leaps for it. And it's out of bounds. The Warriors able to retain possession here.
那我送我们一颗遥远的祝福。可恶！嘿！盖火锅，上半场结束平手。
Right here on 2K Sports. And now, brought to you by Sprint.
What a great way to end the week. A little NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Plenty of hustle from the Warriors. The three-point shooting, ridiculous. They're knocking down everything. Stephen Curry has been productive. He's been one of their more dependable shooters in this game, knocking it down better than 50%. But the Cavaliers also came to play. They're crashing the offensive glass with reckless intensity, tremendous hustle. There's been some great work by C.J. Miles in this one. At the break, 7 points, and he's been able to provide some nice assists as well. That's it for us here in the studio. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead with the first 2 quarters.
It's been a solid outing for Curry. He has 11 points, and he's given them a spark from
我
outside.
一定要爆头！给我看着。
Floor spacing. He is capable of knocking down that shot. That's exactly what he's doing today. Steph Curry, of course, the son of a sharpshooter.
漂亮，吃掉回尔甲。
Shooting runs in the family because he's got a younger brother who can really shoot too over at Duke.
In the middle, it's David Lee and Andrew Bogut. Thompson and Barnes in the 2 and the 3. And it's Curry in at the 1. And that's the group for Mark Jackson as we begin the second half. Here is Miles. Andrew Bogut making his last shot. Outside Irving, beyond the arc. Thompson with the rebound. He's talking about Steph Curry, who's at Duke, and Steph Curry, who's in the NBA with Golden State, still developing as a playmaker. Boy, you're not going to see many players who can shoot the ball better than him.
Agreed, Kevin, because he has a quick release and his textbook form. He's got unlimited range.
Solid advantage in rebounding totals for them so far here.
You know, in every game, but particularly in a close game, every little advantage you can use helps, and they're certainly enjoying one on the glass here. Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
Now here is Verjao. 6 points for him. And it's Irving missing.
Yeah, just 1 for 4 here in the third quarter, so a very slow start for this club.
Barnes kicks to Thompson.
漂亮，好球！
Thompson's got 7 points.
And for Byron Scott, coach,
去上一下厕所。
he was one of the great shooters of his time. Played a long time with the Lakers and then hit some big shots for the Indiana Pacers.
And the Cavaliers call time here. And for Byron Scott, he played on some great teams and, you know, Steve, with some great coaches.
He sure did. You know, played obviously with those Laker teams. Spent some time in Indianapolis. So Byron Scott knows what it takes to communicate to your players, to share what you're trying to get across. He understands how to win. He's got a ton of credibility from his players as a result.
不好意思，回来了。好，继续了。
Well, difficult season for the Cavaliers last year, although they did show some signs that there's a brighter future.
这才刚刚喊完暂停而已，怎么换我们喊的？
But there's a lot of work to do. Major personnel upgrades across the board. We'll see if Byron Scott can get the job done here the next couple of years.
And here are the Warriors now, following the score by Cleveland. Curry passes the lead. Passes to Thompson. Golden State moving it around.
好球！
Over Irving. Second chance effort.
当准得分。
Thompson's got 9.
I'm sure they'd like to get more shots like that one.
Curry against Irving. Spins to the middle. He flies to the bucket and lays it in. Chance knew it wouldn't be an immediate turnaround to get back to winning, but they are doing the whole rebuilding process. Guard with patience and not trying to rush out and just sign anyone and everyone.
Yeah, Kevin, that's the way they should do it. Slow but sure. Slow but sure is what I'm saying there, folks. They've had good success in the draft, and as they keep adding talent and developing,
down low, Gibson, that's good. He's got 6.
And all 10 of their last points are inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it too. I mean, he's coming way too easy for him. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
Right, you can see them taking it strong into the paint over and over again.
Yeah, that really seems to be the strategy, partner. I mean, pound it inside. He's a bit short for the power forward spot, but his great leaping ability more than makes up for it.
Well, you talk about Daniel Boobie Gibson. He's one of those guys who's kind of a shooting guard, point guard spot. Help you offensively as long as you figure out.
又被挑上加一了。
That's why his best years were with LeBron James. He could play off the ball on offense and guard the point guard on defense.
And Gibson, a player who throughout his career has shot a better percentage outside the arc than Clarkey has inside the arc.
Yeah, that's a bit unusual, but for a smaller guy, it can be tough to finish around all those tall players inside. So, when the floor is space, that's where he can find room to knock down triples.
Oh, here's Curry.
好球，漂亮。
That's good.
Boy, nice little trend developing here, fellas. I mean, that's 8 of their last 10 from inside.
Power entry.
Yeah, they're getting high percentage looks down there. Their offense is really quick, and I don't see why they wouldn't just continue to pound the ball inside.
Here is Verja. After Carl Landry's bucket.
这样就这样子杀入。
Verja's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession. And some changes here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut checked in for Beatrice. Lee comes in for Carl Landry. And it's Barnes in for Brandon Rush. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Samuels, he's in for Anderson Verja. There's a minute left in the third. And that one's good, Irving.
Just adds to what has already been a great day for him.
Here's Curry with the 3. Kept alive. Another shot.
Yeah!
And so he ends a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. The Warriors have been unsuccessful at the line so far. Curry looking to make their first free throw of the game right now. The first free throw.
Well, the big gamble that Golden State took last year was when they sent Monte Ellis to Milwaukee for Andrew Bogut. Bogut is the long Golden State has been around for years. So they have one. The question now is, will he be healthy? He hasn't been able to stay on the court for much of his NBA career, but he is an excellent player when he's on the floor.
Hasn't had a whole lot of misses here in the quarter. Very sharp shooting right now. It's fun to watch.
Jacks up a three. Another miss by Curry.
I'll tell you what, guys, his struggle from the field is definitely.
太小看我，哦，这球漂亮。
How about that elevation? Man, some major hops and vertical there.
That's your point guard right there, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, aren't they? Some of the best athletes in the world playing that position.
Amazing. This guy's able to create and
哪有可能啊？
Again, Irving missing.
哦，没有。
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first three quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Cavaliers lead by 5. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now, let's check in with Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game.
从被盖那个火锅中就整个没手感。
Table game today came from the Cleveland Cavaliers. No big errors on their part, and they've been the team that wants more so far. It's that extra bounce in their step that has been the difference maker for them.
And thank you, Doris. And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Anderson Varejao out there with Caspi. Then it's Kyrie Irving. Then it's Daniel Gibson. And it's Zeller into the 5 spot. Jack for 3.
漂亮，好球！
Shot is good. Jack's got the
就算 Curry 没有手感，其他人也有手感，我就不相信没办法战胜你们。
Gibson against Thompson. Pushes up. 3-pointer.
Caspi
No good from Caspi. The Warriors trailing. Jack dishes the rush. And this is a chance to tie it there.
Well, the effort was there, but he just
Oh,
couldn't
this
quite
ain't
find his way through traffic.
And that'll be Cleveland as it goes out of
Daniel
bounds.
Gibson.
Cavaliers retain possession. And the Warriors got some changes. Lee's checked in for Landry.
两边都换了。
Morris comes in for Brandon Rush. And Steph Curry is subbed in for Klay Thompson. And then for Cleveland, Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Zeller. C.J. Miles comes in for Casper. And it's Waiters in for Kyrie Irving. Now here's Gibson. Curry with the steal.
好，
And up the court,
给
the
我
Warriors on the break. Lee's running.
啊，糟了，
On that shot, but it's off the mark. And here's Gibson.
根本不知道为什么。
And that one's good.
Well, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
And a jumper. Offensive rebound. Varejao. So the whistle blows. Shot 2 free throws for the contact right
无
there.
法实现逆转吗？
Varejao's been doing. He has 8 points and a block.
And the first one drops.
It's been no postseason action for Cleveland since LeBron James left. Overall, it seems the franchise goes on these spurts of making and not making the playoff. I don't think they'll have to wait too long before getting back there, though. A lot of good young players in the Cavs system.
Klay Thompson is checked in for Jerry.
哦，
Here's Curry with the
好啊！
gets it to go.
There you go. That's the stroke we
终
saw.
于下半场终于投进3分了，第一个。
Outside Irving. Kicks it to Waiters. Now Varejao inside. The monster one-hand slam.
Man, they are both lighting it up here.
Exciting basketball, Steve. I mean, it's been back and forth. Each side dropping in points every chance they get.
Now here's Curry. There's the triple. Can change shot. And Bogut with the nice basket inside.
Well, you love his motor and the effort level that's there on the offensive boards. That's always there. And those are the kind of things that create extra possessions. And ultimately, NBA games are generally close, so 2-3 extra possessions in a game can turn out to be the difference between winning and losing.
And I just think his overall defensive presence is so valuable to this team. He's a great communicator.
拿不到，该死！
Talking on defense. His impact is much greater than you might realize.
Timeout called the Warriors.
居然会有这种。
Like I said about Cleveland, postseason not a problem for them, but the franchise still looking for their first championship.
Well, they came close. Remember 2007, they made the finals, although they did get swept by San Antonio. But that was when LeBron James was around. Ever since the trade, or I should say the defection of LeBron, ultimately was a sign and trade. But since LeBron left, they've been in rebuilding mode here in Cleveland.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Mark Jackson had some words for his team over that break. He told his team to keep looking for three-point opportunities, saying their perimeter defense isn't doing a good job getting out of their so let's keep firing away until they decide to guard us.
They can't seem to stop anybody inside.
They got to know that if they don't make life tougher in the paint, the opponent is just going to keep going there. I mean, it's not like they'll get tired of all these in-close opportunities.
Curry against Irving. Dishes it to Meyer.
Yeah.
Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And the Cavaliers lead by 6.
He may not be their top three-point option guys, but you still got to cover him.
好啊！
Another open look hits bottom from outside.
Yeah, that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
Cavaliers have gotten just over 45% of their attempted drop in the fourth. They're 9. And that one's good.
Another inside bucket. They've had a huge edge in points in the lane.
That's what every coach preaches, inside out, reversible clothing.
Now here's Curry. Back to lead. Goes
漂亮。
And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's
防守，拜托防守。
He kicks to Williams. Feeds it to Miles. It's the lead pass. Here's Irving. Good. Irving shot 11 in the second half.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Stolen by Miles.
就想要走了。
Parajao down low. Curry meets him. Goes up the baseline. No good. The Warriors go the other way. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Takes it right up.
好，漂亮。
Beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. Big time bucket there, Clark.
And Kevin, the crowd is loving it.
Well, they know
不会放
exactly
手
how
的。
big that shot was.
Now here's Waiters. He's covered by Thompson. Now here's Waiters. Here's Irving. Again, Irving missing.
Great defensive anticipation there to challenge that shooter.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Curry. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Tell you what, the defense has nothing to worry about out there with them shooting. I mean, you can't dial it in from deep this half at all.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
And so they foul intentionally. He hits the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point.
Nice.
And I'll tell you what, those 2 free throws give them some much-needed breathing room, guys. It's now a 2-possession game.
升级。 进啊
Inbound,
！Yeah！
and he has brought them to within 2 points.
Huge bucket. They don't get much bigger than that, Steve.
They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
foul shot right there with the dagger in the heart. It's all but over, guys.
Another miss by Curry. And now they foul and stop the clock. So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. And he can't convert on the second. That misses. Here's Barnes. No good.
Not too much congestion in the lane.
我们输了，
Gotten a better shot.
真太可惜了。
We see the Cavaliers get the win here. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Now it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Horace Burke, this is Kevin Hone, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
Uncle Dude。 他还盖了 Kobe 的火锅。我果然不适合用这种队伍。看到这个数据，我就懒得再看了。跟快攻跟禁区得分太多次了，然后我们送给对手7次失误，得到他们得了12分，这很不理想。 正片开始了。 今天要跟黄蜂队打，刚好今天就是礼拜五，就是刚好而已。
Thanks for joining us. Get ready for the NBA here on 2K Sports. A Friday night NBA presentation. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the New Orleans Hornets. And without any further ado, let's head to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew at the arena. I'll be back at halftime.
Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan. And brought to you by State Farm, here's a quick look at our starting lineups. Someone will be keeping an eye on, of course, LeBron James.
Well, Kevin, this guy is such an incredible player. He can really do it all. So unique in that he's the best athlete in the game, but also amazingly self-important in transition to find teammates. But if he needs to score, he'll score too.
And Steve, some have called on him to be more assertive looking for a shot, but that's not his nature. That's not how he's wired. One area he has got more aggressive in, though, is looking to score inside, where his strength and athleticism really make him almost unguardable.
Well, it was the New Orleans Hornets. Their last game, a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And you chalk that loss up to poor shooting, guys. There was very little flow to their offense, and they really didn't find quality shots.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. It's a combination of poor execution and then no quality shots. They seem far too focused on doing it themselves, going solo, playing hero ball, we like to call it, versus cohesive team play.
Monty Williams, a former Notre Dame Fighting Irish player, and also a member of the Spurs, one of the many disciples of Greg Popovich in the NBA. I like the way they got the ball inside there.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Rick Adelman gave me just a few minutes with him. Of course, the conversation veered to the challenge of defending LeBron James, and he said there's not a lot of good options with him. He can really do it all. I think you just have to try and stay in front of him, and if he gets in close, you have to bring help. And guys, we've seen LeBron really force the issue as far as getting into the lane. We'll see how they do.
And thank you for that, Doris. And Coach Monty Williams, really one of the rising young stars in the NBA coaching ranks.
Young coach, was taking over a young team here in New Orleans. They've shown a lot of promise. I thought last year they played hard. This year.
当场傻眼了，这个球再看一次，老王健。
Tell you what, when he gets going strong to the hoop, there's almost nothing the defense can do.
And the replay, of course, presented by Sprite.
一开始就被打一波6比0。
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Outside, Walker. Puts the lead pass in front of him. LeBron with the block.
老帮剑是火锅。
Going here after 3 tries.
And Curry, here we go. The dish to Terry. Shoots over Walker. And it's Terry that time on the assist by Curry. Terry's got his first points of the game.
那我们强队如果我们可以赢的话，我们可以更上一层楼。
Curry against Walker. Green. Shot to stop the run.
好球，进了。
Feed that time from Walker.
Now they finally connect with their 4th shot of the game. Well, you look at Steph Curry, lightly recruited out of high school and ended up playing collegiately at Davidson. And of course, who could forget their amazing run in Curry's sophomore season? Davidson made it all the way to the Elite 8, losing to the eventual national champion Kansas Jayhawks.
Walker against Terry. Just 5 to shoot. And Walker kicks to Aldridge. The shot is off. Great D that time from LeBron. The Hornets leading by 5.
And you know, Steph Curry, to his credit, has spent part of his offseason back on campus at Davidson, finishing his degree in sociology. He stayed close to that team as well, and certainly there's still a bond between Steph Curry and the Davidson community. He had a special few years there as a student athlete.
状况确实不太好。
Bond that I think will continue throughout his life.
Back to Jordan.
哎，
And stolen by Wright. And Kemba Walker is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Back to LeBron. Terry outside. Passes it to LeBron. From about 16, the rebound by Jeff Green.
Well, you know what? You really expect him to knock that jumper down when he gets a good look like that. It really didn't seem to matter to the Timberwolves last year whether they were playing home or away. They had the same record in both categories.
And that record you mentioned, Clark, 13 and 20. Not a terrible mark on the road for the Wolves, given all the injury woes they had. And they're going to look to improve that, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that number got worse at the end of the year after they
Terry 剑士跟 Curry 组成的一支球队。
road record was as bad as what it ended up to look like, but this is a team on the rise, guys. There's no question. They've got some talent. This is a big season for them. They've got to establish themselves on the road if they're going to be a playoff contender.
Outside, Walker.
自己来，
Releases
有
from the
漂
wing.
亮。
The Hornets leading by 7. Outside Curry.
一定要赢这种强队才可以。
Wright sets a screen for Curry. Kicks it out to Beasley.
这传出来了，
Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got his 4th
禁
assist
区得分12比0。
tonight.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, you'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
Here's Aldridge. And
Tino.
it's Minnesota.
You know, that's a solid shot right there, Kevin. I mean, he's one of the better low-post finishers we'll see.
Terry outside. Pass to Beasley. Feeds it to Curry. Makes the alley-oop pass. And it's Wright missing.
That would have been a nice alley-oop
哎，
there.
好的，
Well, you got to love the effort, though. Almost showtime.
And that one's good.
Yeah, why not? Keep firing. He's shooting really well here early on.
Curry with the steal.
好的，
And now here
让你的
comes
真是
Terry
苦战
on。the break. And a great assist by Curry.
暂停，
They built an early lead.
黑人们教练喊出了暂停。
Well, they got a huge advantage.
今天遇到禁止，所以真是很麻
They're
烦。
attacking early, so taking advantage of scoring in close.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout, getting their first look of the season at this Hornets team.
And, you know, I think they may have a little extra motivation because they lost last year's season series to this team.
good time to show you some of the league's most disruptive defenders over the past month. The steal leaders at the small forward. LeBron James, number 1.
You know, typically you have your centers or power forwards providing the defensive help down low. But so often we've seen him come flying out of nowhere to block a shot.
That's true, you know, time and time again. He surprises shooters at the last minute. You know, he's got a really good sense of timing as to when to leave his guy to get to the guy.
And that one's good by Aldridge. Two teams kind of bringing up the back end of the conference. It's not a matchup the top teams are going to pay much attention to.
Well, even if the high end isn't interested, you can bet these guys are. Two teams trying to build themselves up. You can measure improvement in other ways if you're not making the play.
That's a great point. Walker dishes to Aldridge. Deflects the pass. Shoots over Walker. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Well, that's the nice efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
Three-pointer, and again, Minnesota with the triple.
You know, he didn't have too much space to get that shot off, but for him, he had enough.
Walker against Curry. Dishes it to LeBron. Back to Curry. Beasley outside. He dishes it to LeBron.
This game is really going their way early. What a lead they've built up.
And that's thanks to their performance offensively in large measure. I mean, they're actually scoring with ease here.
Walker the pass to Aldridge. Back to Walker. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Green kicks to Jordan. That's tipped. Beasley with the steal. He's feeling it, and LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Curry. Curry's got 6 assists in the game. Walker dishes to Aldridge. Covered by LeBron. Takes it up, and that one's good by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 6.
Tell you what, he's 3 or 4 now. Looks like his game's on offensively.
Curry passes to Beasley. Beasley right side. Curry kicks to right, moves back up, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Kicks it to Reddick. Lets it go from deep. The Hornets pull it in.
A very rough quarter for him as not much is falling right now.
James connects in the foul line jumper.
这是被黄蜂队狠狠修理了。
Boy, they just cannot figure out a way to stop this guy this quarter.
进了，
Took him no time at all on that one.
这种进球毫无意义。
Now here's Terry. 17 points in his last outing. Right against Jordan. Right dishes to Terry. The shot is off. And Minnesota now the other way. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And not to discount defense, guys, but it was their effectiveness offensively that allowed them to finish that game out.
Yeah, spoken like a true sharpshooter. The battle at that end of the floor, which they won easily, really told the story.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Clark.
Kemba
Walker really is a great penetrator and a volume scorer. Not a great outside shooter yet, streaky. But I think when you look at him and his ability to penetrate and finish, it's very impressive at that size how productive he is.
Minnesota calls timeout.
And guys, you go back to Kemba Walker, and I think you're right, Steve. He's a natural ball handler and penetrator. But if he develops his outside shot, because he's got outstanding balance and footwork, I think that'll make him a lot tougher to defend. And he's not a big guy, so being able to knock down the perimeter shot with his balance and footwork is going to make him that much more dangerous.
Story on J.J. Redick. This past month, he's really set himself apart. You see how he matches up numbers-wise. 8th in three-point field goal percentage. And he's in the top 15 in points per game, so he's a guy you have to account for
第一
defensively.
节还有3分多钟，落后14分。各位观众，这场比赛是本世纪最精彩的一场比赛。对飞狼队而言，这也是主战。好，现在已经做好上了。
Timberwolves trailed by 14.
一做好直接切入上篮得分，哇！一上来就得分了，好球！
Pretty much what happened to the Hornets last season. They missed some players with injury, and the West just ate them up.
There's the pass to Williams.
Williams
He feeds it to Valanciunas.
double team， 快点！
To Williams. Now the feed to Williams.
烧了，
No one near him.
好球！篮板 OJ 没有也上了，
The Hornets not a lot of room for air in the West.
快攻，好球！漂亮！
He's definitely showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, what a play.
还差10分，
Spectacular.
第一节已经被得32分了，怎么可以继续作弊上关呢？
Floats a runner. Rebound Hill.
好球，抢得好，快攻！
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Here's
Oh.
Lamb. He gets
漂
it
亮
down.，
林书豪投3分有。
Single-digit lead.
飞狼队最后打了一波11-2的攻势。
All offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
Here's Williams. No good, unable to end this run.
Nice early advantage for them on the glass, guys.
You know, part of rebounding well early
好
is
球
the ball and boxing
漂
out,
亮，
establishing
这个进攻
a
不错
tone so that you can maintain it later in the game.
I think one of Lynn's best attributes, Kevin, is his ability to score and finish through contact. You know, he's got deceptive strength to his lower body. He's able to maintain that balance in the paint even after he gets bumped and finish plays.
Well, that balance you talk about with the added strength helps him defensively as well because he's underrated.
好球 ，OJ 没有得分，现在只差3分了，一口气追了回来。
Very smart defensive game.
That first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Well, he's got to be disappointed with his team's play over the course of this run. And, thus the timeout. You got to talk things over, try to get back into the game.
Something has to change for them as they haven't looked good at all during this run, so the timeout is appropriate here.
Chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December.
红队在西区排名第4，火箭队第3名。
7 games back.
然后第1跟第2分别是犹他跟奥克拉荷马， 所以黄蜂算是西区前面的队伍，所以我们只要能够赢他们4期就能够提升。
Tell you what, they're walking tall right now. This club playing with a ton of confidence.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Brandon Wright's checked in for Valanciunas. LeBron comes in for Ivan Johnson. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Reggie Williams.
哇，这个真没办法走。
He's subbed in for Raymond Felton.
An open lane right there. Pretty much saw the daylight he wanted and took advantage.
Yeah, great opportunity, and he seized it without much
好球
hesitation.
Yeah, a little too easy.
啊！这个球到底在干嘛？哇！
Tighten things up here.
This has been a strong statement by them the way they've come out and attacked the glass early.
Yeah, I agree, Clark. I love the physical play, the fact that they're taking the game right to
再来一次，我不会辜负众望。好球！
Redick's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. New Orleans in the lead. There's 57 seconds left in the first. Beasley, the best to LeBron. And play stops as it looks like they come over the back here.
Yeah, that was kind of...
Curry 的犯规。
He's not going to get away with that.
Climbed all over him like he was on the ladder. I mean, that's an easy over-the-back call there.
Ross is checked in for the Hornets. Terry comes in for Mo Williams. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Minnesota. Green comes in for Mike Dunley. The offensive rebound. Count the bucket. 6 points for Steph Curry.
Excellent job carving out space under the glass to make that putback possible.
Now about 10 seconds separating the shot from game points. Green kicks to Booker. Timberwolves passing it around. Redick with the three.
What?
You know what? Good work defensively by Terry.
He can't find anything out there, and his misses are really hurting this team.
And a great assist by Curry. As that
两边
one
第一
goes
节分
in.
数都还蛮高的。
Curry's got his 8th assist in the game. He kicks it to Redick. A three ball. That
有漂亮。
That time from Walker. Walker's got 4 assists in the game. Here's LeBron.
哦，差一点被他投进。
Well, it's been a high scoring
第一节结束之后，3分差。
Hornets lead by 3. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.
曾经被他们领先到达双位数，不过我们后来又追了回来。
Tune in next Wednesday. The Philadelphia 76ers go up against the Houston
这场
Rockets.
是舰队，两边的战绩是都超好的。
So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. Guys, what's your take on the Hornets so far?
It's been beautiful basketball to watch, guys. Really
现在
sharing
灰狼队也换了，
as
林
a
书豪又
result,
回来
a。great flow going.
Hand in glove, 5 guys working as one. The power of the
这个球直接上去得分了。
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Minnesota, Jeremy Lin is out there with J.J. Redick. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. Then there's Trevor Booker. And it's Green in at the small forward. Here's LeBron.
Ai, 吃掉对手。
LeBron's now got 20 points.
他已经
You
20
know,
分
guys,
了。
Minnesota coach Rick Adelman, the second most wins
Oh,
among
sure.
active NBA coaches.
Ai da.
I mean, he's 8th all time on the wins list. And with this young Minnesota team, I really think his skills as a teacher, which are outstanding, certainly come into play. He's one of the best that we've had on the sidelines in the history of the league.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Guys, LeBron James all
好球，
defense
漂亮。
team for the last 4 seasons. He wasn't always known as a great defender, but it's something he really worked at, and he went so far as to say, I love defense much more than I do offense. I take pride in that side of the floor. And Kevin, with his incredible athleticism, he can really guard at least 4 positions out there.
Yeah, he can do it all. Thanks, Doris.
Well, what makes LeBron so great is that he's dominant at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can guard any position. I think his defense gets overlooked at times, but he is really dominant at that end.
进啊！
That evens the score.
好球，平手了。
You know, Rick Adelman is really considered an offensive-minded coach, but he has had some pretty good defensive teams as well.
Williams against Land. Williams gets to Curry. Curry gets the screen from right. Shot from the wing. There's the dish to Ross. They shoot again, and it's sent back by
卖
Aldridge.
笑熊啊！
And Redick gets to Green. And stolen by LeBron. Williams with the ball. And it's Lin picking him up. And the shot is good.
Unbelievable shot there. He busted out the trick release and left the defender dazed and confused.
Here's Aldridge. And stolen by LeBron. And now Curry running the floor all by himself.
That was a power punch right there. You let him get to the rim.
把气势打起来了。
What's going to happen? You deserve that.
And he's
很
more
暂
like
停。
capable. You're right, Clark. They're providing some great highlight reel material.
Yes, sir.
And for a point guard to finish like that, I mean, that is just special.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Sprite. And the Timberwolves call time.
Well, last year, the Chris Paul saga really dominated the headlines for New Orleans. But when you look back to it, you know, Paul handled it very maturely. I mean, he didn't go to the press and whine and complain. He was very quiet in his approach with management. He told them what he wanted. I I thought they were respectful of him, and the whole thing ended up working out probably as well as it possibly could.
Let's take this opportunity to show you the teams that could have been the best three-point shooting squads over the last 10 games. The Timberwolves, #1.
They've been really pleased, Kevin, with their three-point game. It's working better for them thanks to some adjustments they've made in their transition game.
A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Wright. Ivan Johnson comes in for LeBron. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Ross.
然后一传出进去就会失误，这已经是第3次了。
Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
Nice aggressive defensive play to make the steal and start the break.
Yeah, and I like the fact they didn't mess around with it once they got it.
Nice ball movement by Minnesota.
Mayo，
And there's O.J. Mayo on the assist by Jordan. Mayo's got his second basket. See, that's a good point. In this day and age, when a lot of trade demands are done through the media, Paul and the Hornets seem to make the most of what could have been, I think, part of a pretty ugly situation.
Well said, Kevin. They did do a good job at handling that. And you got to give both sides credit. The player isn't happy, doesn't have to make all sorts of waves about it. Just tell the team and see if they can work together and get an amicable solution.
Well, sometimes, guys, you can forget he's out there, and all of a sudden, bang, he'll string together 3 or 4 shots in a row and just take over the game.
A little sweetener in his game, a little flair in his package. Not a guy you have to call the play for. He can size you up and take you apart. Points in the paint have been the main course, or main entree, if you will. They just keep pounding it inside.
Now they're seeing no resistance defensively in the paint area, so the defense has got to be tougher.
Felton with the ball. Now Mayo.
不会进，篮板。
Offensive rebound. Valanciunas dishes to Johnson. Gets it to go. And the Hornets lead by 6.
They keep pounding them on the glass here in this one. Just a tremendous job rebounding the ball.
Well, that's after battle. You go after it every single time. It's a mindset. Never assume the shot's going in. You gotta always assume the shot's gonna come off the rim and it's gonna be yours.
The Hornets leading by 6. Here's Williams. Jordan with
漂亮火锅好球。
Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Johnson. Gives him the lead pass. Kicks it out to Beasley. Passes to Valanciunas. And it's space. Minnesota with the rebound.
You really don't want to see him missing those mid-range shots, but when he's open, he's got to shoot it.
Here's Brewer. Rebound by Wyndham Felton.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Well, for Raymond Felton, it was a very disappointing season a year ago after that terrific year.
刚标准4分，
Didn't show up to camp in shape, shot the ball
漂亮好球。
did not have a very good year for the Blazers.
You know, he got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And for Felton, what do you think is the key for him to get back on track?
Well, I think conditioning is a part of it. I think the lockout threw off a lot of players as far as getting ready for the season, and I think fell into that camp. He's not the biggest card, so quickness and conditioning really important for him.
You know, guys, the Timberwolves improved by leaps and bounds last year, and one way that really showed up was in their improvement against the Western Conference teams. Their record against Western teams much improved over the previous season.
Over the last 10 games, you
威
can
扬
see
队
where the
的
Timberwolves rank in
排
the
名
league.
三分球命中率第1，投篮命中率第1，助攻是第6，后面都倒数，不理想。 6分之差落后，上半场剩下6分多钟而已了。
The shooting is really what stands out to me. This is a team that does such a good
Harry.
job of finding open looks.
Weird.
They're unselfish. They work offensively to create good shots.
哦，盖漂亮！哎呀，
They're on their
没拿到。
Terry outside. Fires from deep. And a
就还是被投进。
that one goes in. 9 points for Jason Terry. Yes, the 19-29 for the Wolves against the West for them.
恭喜！
Not where they wanted
居然没有人要守，他就是看不起他就对了。
the season before.
Yeah, in the season before, they only mustered up 7 wins in 52 games against the West. So anything north of double digits is a big jump.
哇，这边来一个空中作业。
Now that's how you execute an alley-oop there, fellas.
And with an exclamation point, too, on the finish, throwing it down hard.
Terrific play on both ends.
Feeds it to Reddick. Over Terry. Good shot by Reddick, no good.
Another rebound gobbled up. They are pounding the boards.
A big part of the lead, guys, is because of the work they've done on the glass. I mean, they have the lead because they've rebounded well.
無理なシュートするな、メガネ君。危ない時はこの天才にパスだ。
Three-pointer.
还是没有哇，现在手感越来越差了。
LeBron's now got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. And that'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip.
And I'm
哪有可能啊？
to seeing how that Portland game turns out for sure.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one.
And he slams it in one-handed.
Nice aggressive defensive play to make the steal and start the break.
Yeah, and I like the fact they didn't mess around with it once they got it.
Dishes to Reddick. Over Terry. Reddick with the bucket. Reddick's got 11 points.
He is so good at working himself into the open spots on the floor inside that three-point line.
To the inside. Here's Curry. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's now got 4 assists now tonight.
They continue to barrel their way inside. And when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Pass to Terry. 8 feet away. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's now got assist number 5 tonight. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Well, after that strong start to this game, he's really picked it up here
这
in
种
the
进攻
second.
模式真不是个好方法。
Here's LeBron. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And a huge rebounding night as well. Really
还打手，完蛋了。
all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
我们一路把比分追平，但还是没办法领先他们。
At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
So for the Hornets, Ross is checked in for Williams. And Mo Williams subbed in for Jason Terry. Minnesota also making some changes. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Aldridge. Hundley becomes in for Jeff Green. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Kemba Walker. Nice shot by Posey.
That's where you like to get shots, inside and close to the hoop.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, the Timberwolves seem to be turning a corner in respectability, and even the real powerhouse teams in the league are taking notice. Reigning MVP and NBA champion LeBron James says they're a good team. If they continue on the path that they're on now, they can become a playoff team. They have young guys. When you have that type of mix and that chemistry with totality, they can do it. If not right now, then very soon.
Doris, a lot of promise on this team. We'll see how they develop. Williams, and there's the rejection. Up top, Lynn. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Levy gets it to go in.
张丽丽也得分。
You want to keep the ball as far away from the hoop as possible.
Yeah, because he's too good inside, Steve. I mean, he'll make you pay every time in there.
He dishes it to Ross. Over Dunleavy. Can't get it to go. So Minnesota will take it the other way. Gets to Booker. He passes it to Williams. And another 3 for Minnesota.
林书豪今天命中率100%，哇，太可怕了。
Inside, here's Curry and blocked.
这个火锅。
And it's out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession. Well, you need good passing from your forwards as much as you can. These are small forwards leading the way in assists. LeBron James second.
The passes we've seen some of these guys make from the wing are outstanding. Truly gifted distributors.
Yeah, and one of the passes that you really need to prioritize and be able to make is that entry pass, getting that ball inside. Accurately throwing it into the low post is really a bit of a lost art in today's game.
Now here's Curry. Defense is right there. Cross, that's good.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
In the pass to Reddick. The pass to Dunleavy. Curry meets him. And is back to the basket for over 5. That'll be a turnover. And a moment now to check out who Minnesota is coming up.
下一场比赛是对小牛，礼拜一对魔术，18号收对热火，奥克拉荷马雷霆的队伍。
Valenciunas, he's checked in for Wright. Ivan Johnson comes in for LeBron. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Ross. Felton for Steph Curry. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Trevor Booker. Bill Gonzalez Posey. Lonnie Brewer's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And it's Mayo in for J.J. Redick.
You know, a lot of players love playing with Felton because of the way he can throw the alley-oop. He makes it look easy, but believe me, it's not easy. Throwing a precise alley-oop is kind of an art form. Put it right on the money and anticipate
应该说，不管陷入多大的困境，这样队都会尽全力想办法扭转比赛的局势。
Felton makes it look so easy, but you know, it really is a play that requires a very good understanding between teammates as well. And sometimes I think we just forget that communication that is so necessary. That misses, so he splits the free throws.
You know, the question the last few years in New Orleans is, you know, would the Hornets be able to stay? Just from a
这个球滚出来，哇！可惜先第一次没进。
That question was answered last year when they signed a new lease. The Hornets did with the city of New Orleans to stay through the year 2024.
And just signing at least the city of 2024. That's amazing. And Clark, it really helps reaffirm the bonds between the team and certainly the city.
Exactly. It can be hard to grow attached to a team. You know, so much of a fan's attachment is emotional, but you need to know how long they're going to go around. And that was really good news for Hornets fans when they signed that lease.
Kemba Walker is checked in for Jeremy Lin. Second free throw, no good.
Well, we saw what Michael Beasley was able to accomplish back at Kansas State. A tremendous production that led him to become the #2 pick in the 2008 NBA draft. To make that kind of an impact in the NBA, he still needs to put it together and be more consistent.
Williams kicks to Felton. And stolen by Mayo. And now here's Mayo, the fast break opportunity.
好球，漂亮！接下来要打一波14-6的攻势。
The Hornets leading by 6.
又回到6分
about Michael Beasley, who, by the way, is a great friend of Kevin Durant. They grew up together in the Washington D.C. And Beasley with that tremendous natural talent. What does he need to do to really unleash it?
Well, I think part of it is just attitude and effort on a consistent basis because he's a terrific scorer. Has not rebounded at the level in the NBA that he did in college, and that's a mindset. But I think he's just got to really commit to giving the effort consistent.
Hill. And now it's just a 4-point Hornet lead. Hornet shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. Felton against Mayo. It's Beasley on the wing. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. And it's 7 points for Beasley.
And his skills go well beyond just his scoring ability. They really can run their entire offense through it.
这球投进，
He's just one of those guys.
先把沃克压到3分，只差3分了。
Hornets on top, up by 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's halftime out in New Orleans with a great one going on out there. Glad to have you with us. A tight game for the Hornets squaring off against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're playing hungry, and why wouldn't they be? They've lost their last 4 games in a row. And LeBron having no problems as expected, scoring at will against the defense of the Timberwolves. What he's been able to do from the field has been nothing short of spectacular. Only a select few players in the league can shoot the ball like that. And no shortage of desire from the Timberwolves side of things. They've dialed in from long range an incredible shooting performance from outside. Kemba Walker has been outstanding. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? Let's start things off with a look at what's coming up later tonight. Out in Denver, it'll be the Nuggets against the Grizzlies. It's an 8:30 Eastern time for a tip-off out there. And another game that's coming up, the Jazz will square off against the Suns out in Phoenix. That one gets going at 7 Eastern. And now, a look at the other NBA action. It'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. A nice battle in the West there. That one starting at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
We have a close ball
半
game
场
on
结
our
束
hands
之后，
as we
灰
get
狼
set for
队
the
仅
second
仅
half.
落后3分，这跟第一节的情况基本上是一模一样。
He's got 24 points, and he has been the definition of a thief with all those steals.
I'll say, I mean, defensively, he's fought his way through this game beautifully. They haven't gotten away with
第三节比
any
赛开始
loose， passes, any sloppy ball handling when he's in the vicinity.
They've got Beasley.
这个球空档出现，来一个踩线的2分。
Then there's Stephen
现在又
Curry.
是回到
That's Terry in at the
1分
2
差。
That's the 5 to begin the second half for Monty Williams. Walker against Curry. Beasley left side. Back to Curry. Wright with a screen on Walker. Terry dishes to Wright. Takes it up for the stop.
That was a nice, strong one-hand jam there.
Yeah, brought it back and ripped it down.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's nice.
Walker against Curry. And Walker
好
gets
球哦，这个漂亮。
Nice feed that time from Walker. Redick's got 15. New Orleans in the lead. Terry outside. Fires at the elbow. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge has got his 4th rebound in this one. Terry guarded by Walker. And there's Jason Terry on the assist by LeBron. LeBron's now got 6 assists now in the game. And here's Walker. He's got 16. Back to Aldridge. He feeds it to Redick. The Timberwolves working the ball around them. Outside, Green. Over Beasley. And Jeff Green, the bucket on the assist from Redick. That's 7 points for Jeff Green.
Hot start for this club coming out of halftime. That's 3 in a row now.
Curry passes to Beasley. The feed to Terry. He kicks it to Curry.
好可能啊！
The shot no good. So Minnesota will take it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Jordan kicks to Green for the lead. And
无影投进
again,
3分，这个3分帮助灰狼队取得首次领先。
Come racing out of the gate to start this second half.
Right outside. Back to Curry.
哎，
Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Curry's got 15 points. Outside, Walker. Green hits to Walker. Back to Green. Now the dish to Redick. Outside, Green. Passes it to Walker. Puts up a 3. And the call will be against LaMarcus
哇
Aldridge.，
就是我们这边犯
That's
规
foul，number 2 for him.
好去取了犯规。
Hornets have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Time called here. The Hornets decide to talk it over.
好，这是上厕所的
Well,
节
when you
奏。
look at DeAndre Jordan, just a tremendous physical talent. Great athleticism, can run, can jump. He's already good, but I think as his skills develop, I mean, he's got the potential to be a great center. And I think he believes that if he takes some time here to kind of talk things over, it'll be well served for this club.
And, you know, maybe this gives him an opportunity to toy around with some of their game plan while he has their attention during this break in the action.
now to a list of players you can't leave open under any circumstances. This season's most accurate small forwards from the field. Second is Jeff Green. LeBron James third.
And that tells you about those players' ability to slash through the defense and get to the hoop effectively. Because you...
第二节的得分几乎是平分秋色，哇！虽然前面看起来是会让队比较劣势啊，但是每次到了比赛后面的时候就会追上比分，我也不知道为什么。啊！
You have to be getting a lot of
对，
layups
这
to
就
have
是
that
逆
kind of
境下
shooting
求生
outside
存的能力。
But you also have to have an excellent outside shot, and all of them do it. Small forward, you have to be reliable from the perimeter as well.
Gets the bucket. White's got 10 points in the game. Minnesota calls timeout.
White,
LeBron James has really been playing well.
He's on fire. They needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hand.
And now look at Stephen Curry here. He's been a standout for them the past
2.34超节，8.24助攻，罚球命中率 都在联盟的前面。Stephen Curry.
Steve, he's a real ace defensively for him when you take a look at his steals per game average. I mean, whether it's getting into the passing lanes or taking the ball from ball handlers, he does both.
又被 Terry 断掉了。这是黄蜂队接下来在等队拓荒者，还有勇士、快艇、马刺，还有6马。
Sets in motion a 4-game road trip for him. Curry against Walker. Feeds to Aldridge. 5 to shoot. Backs him down. On the left block.
啊！哇，就这个球打到板子后面，
Oh no, you hate to see that.
不理想。
Just the kind of
这个翻身跳
cost you in a game like this.
太夸张了一点。失败的进攻。
And so it's New Orleans with it.
Too bad for Minnesota last year. Things were really going along smoothly, and then Ricky Rubio tore his ACL, which was a big loss for the Wolves. But this is a team with a bright future. A lot of good young talent and a great coach in Rick Allen.
Kept alive. Dishes it to Terry. Here's
不会吧？
and a great assist by
结果他们有2到3次的进攻都不太对了，
16 points for Jason
这样就不对了。哇，这代表整个篮板球跟防守都没有做好。
Looking to end the run. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Terry's got his third rebound on the night. Yeah, Steve, it just seemed last year was just a glimpse of what the Wolves can accomplish. And as they continue to grow, and as a team, you have to look at their outlook on things, certainly. But from afar, it looks like their compass is pointing in the right direction.
Without question, Kevin, I mean, they still need to address some defensive issues, but they showed last year that they can get up and down the floor and score the basketball with anybody.
Aldridge kicks to Green. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And stolen by Wright. For the finish. Oh, my.
从后面毁掉没有用，哇！再看一次。
Now we're cooking with gas, partner. My goodness.
A breathtaking display of aerial supremacy, no doubt.
It's almost unfair, guys. I mean, when you can get up that high, that's crazy. Brandon Wright was the #8 overall pick back in 2007, coming out of North Carolina. Didn't play a lot for the Warriors, but he's always been productive in limited minutes. The question with him is he's strong enough to play a major role. At this point, just a good, solid backup.
Redick for 3. Can't hit. Good work defensively by Terry.
好球！
3. Another miss by
就都没有
Minnesota.
把没有投进。
Feel the momentum swinging. They needed that shot badly.
Steve, I sense some frustration here. It seems like they're getting a little frustrated. It's understandable because they've given up this big run. How about Steph Curry?
一路追平，这一场比赛是有领先过。
Helping of assists as well.
Now he's a maestro, Clark. I mean, they
马上被黄蜂队的气势给打回去
putting on a fantastic performance.
First one falls for him.
And you know, talking about Brandon Wright, he's done a lot of functional strength training, trying to engage his core, that area between your kneecaps and your sternum. He's got his weight up to 230 pounds now, and that added muscle, I think, will help him compete physically night in and night out and make him more of an effective player. He's one of the best free throw shooters in the league, and this game, no different. He's making each trip to the line count.
LeBron outside. Wants to Curry. He dishes it to Beasley. Back to Curry. Kicks it to Felton. Inside to Beasley. Oh, that's blocked. And recover. Tries again. 2 on the clock. And LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Beasley. Beasley's got 3 assists tonight. Lynn with it. Guarded now by Michael Beasley. Lynn against Curry. Lynn kicks to Brewer. He passes to Reddick. In low to Hill. Into LaMarcus Aldridge. Outside, Lynn. 4 on the clock. No good. And they can't put an end to this drought. The Hornets leading by 12. Back to Felton. Here's Johnson. And it's good. Terrific work on the offensive glass to make that one work. Johnson's got 6. Here's the screen. He gathers. A nice shot by Lillard. He's got 17.
You have a nice high percentage look right there.
LeBron with it. Picked up by Aldridge. Brewer with the steal. And now the fast break. Hill with the ball. With the lead pass. And so he ends up back to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Well, last year, Jeremy Lin, such a huge story in the NBA. He was close to being waived by the Knicks when injuries forced them to play him. And his dominant play propelled him to 7 straight wins. And he became famous around the globe.
And he makes the first. And going back to Jeremy Lin, you talk about a 180-degree shift. He went from couch surfing at his brother's apartment and at Landry Field's couch to a week later getting the toast to the town. What, Clark, an incredible story.
Right out of the movies and only on Broadway. And he moved into a swanky apartment in White Plains, Kevin. Someday, I guarantee you, they're going to make a movie out of this. Just an unbelievable story. But there was some work and substance involved in that story. This wasn't just Hollywood or New York glamour and glitz. I mean, this kid produced. And that's why he captured the imagination of basketball fans everywhere.
And there's the pass to LeBron. He feeds it to Valanciunas. LeBron. Posey covering. And the foul on James Posey. That's his first foul. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Walker's checked in. Here is Ross. Shoots from 12. Valanciunas drops in the layup for 2. Valanciunas has got his first 2 points.
You know, the NBA has hustle on every single play, and they're not doing that right now.
No, you got that right. They're giving up second chance points left and right here.
Posey dishes to Dunleavy. Dunleavy's got his second basket of the game. And the Hornets with possession. They're on an 18-6 run. Here's Williams. Another one falls for New Orleans. Timberwolves trail by 12. Outside, Walker. And there's the feed to Dunleavy. Takes a 3. That falls. Time from Walker. Walker's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. The Hornets leading by 9. Here's Williams. Walker with the rebound. Walker's got 3 rebounds now in this one. He kicks to Dunleavy. The dish now to Jordan. Pass to Walker. Nice ball movement by Minnesota.
好球！哇，这空档出来，没有。
Off target with his 3.
Oh, they're now +5 in the rebound category, really controlling the glass.
And rebounding is one of those non-glamour stats. I mean, it takes work and effort and tenacity and physicality. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see the correlation.
Looked like a goaltend, yet they're saying it was on the way down.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Brandon Wright's checked in for Valanciunas. Beasley comes in for LeBron. Jason Terry, he's checked in for Reggie Williams. And Steph Curry subbed in for Mo Williams. And then for Minnesota, Marcus Aldridge is checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Green comes in for James Posey. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for O.J. Mayo. Walker against Curry. And the pass to Wright. Kicks it out to Beasley. Feeds it to Wright. Right side. Ross passes to Wright. Goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Put that paw up there and banged it home. Yeah, man, that was nice.
Little Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
right.
that was strong.
Simple, direct, and effective.
And Walker gets to Green. Back to Walker. Dishes it to Redick. Pass to Aldridge. He dishes it to Walker. From deep. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Wright's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done.
A little overeager right there. Left his feet too early.
And if you're already boxed out, you got to try to work to get around. Otherwise, it's a surefire foul.
LeBron, he's checked in for Ross. And a change for the Timberwolves. Lonnie Brewer's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. Redick dishes to Walker. 1:46 left in the third. Redick for 3. That falls. Feed that time from Walker. Redick's got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing him. I think they've got to find a way to chase him off the three-point line.
Here's Wright. And that one's good. Wright's got 11 points here in just a second.
5 straight hoops in the paint. What a fantastic job of attacking the rim.
Well, Steve, they're getting the looks that they want down there, so might as well keep going right at the rim. If there's no resistance, then make them pay.
Here's Green. No good on the 3.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebounding.
Well, you have to rebound to win, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Nicely done. They've really attacked effectively in transition.
There's no doubt about it, Steve. They're quickly giving them an advantage. I mean, I've liked the way they've pushed the ball all game.
LeBron outside. To the paint. Wright flushes it down. Walker with it. He's got 19. Here's Redick. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Walker's got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Nice shot by Terry.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
Brewer with the ball. He's up against Beasley. 6 on the shot clock. And Brewer kicks to Redick. Fires for 3, and that one's good. Redick's got 23.
What a half they're having from beyond the arc.
Ridiculous. And there's no reason they shouldn't keep attacking from out there. I mean, they've got it going on in a big way now.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Hornets lead by 10. And 4th quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this.
Tune in next Wednesday night. The Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Atlanta Hawks. Do not miss it.
没有角色，雷霆对老鹰。
4th quarter getting going here. It's time for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris Burke with the report. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kevin, our uncontainable game in this one, the stretch by the Hornets. They came out of halftime completely rededicated to the defensive end, and that allowed them to gain this advantage. Definitely a game changer as they head to the fourth.
Thank you, Doris. And how many times, guys, do we see a run like this become the difference maker in the outcome of a game?
Well, that usually is the case, Kevin, when one team can get on a run like they did, where they just feel so dominant offensively. More often than not, that's going to be the difference in the game.
And in this game, even at the very beginning of that run, you could sense the momentum getting ready to take a huge swing. Swing it did. Swing it did.
And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Green is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. Then it's Mayo. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. And it's Lynn in at the 1. Outside, Felton. Johnson sets the screen for Felton. Felton off the pick from Johnson. Back to Williams. From past the arc. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. Felton has got 4 assists now tonight.
And the defense really has to pick it up here, guys. They allowed themselves to get picked too easy.
Outside, Lynn. Into Jordan. Back to Lynn. There's the triple. They get it back. Jordan, the pass to Aldridge. Here's Lynn. Misses the 3.
And that's the way it's been. A big margin for them in the rebounding category.
换我，
You got to get down and dirty.
终于进了，好球！
And this one, they've done it.
这次是算是草灰颜面了，连攻了3次。
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yep, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Outside Williams. Outside Williams. Johnson dishes to Curry. Another one.
Curry 投进。
And the shootout continues.
Trading buckets both ways. I mean, offense definitely the focal point for these teams.
Lynn kicks to Jordan. Back to Lynn. The Timberwolves working the ball around. Here's Aldridge. Good.
这一球跟你拼了，
Nice
好球！
touch near the hoop.
Now Curry. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Wright, the pass to Curry. Kicks it to Williams. Johnson dishes to Wright. Power down with both hands.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
Outside, Lynn. To the middle, tipped.
传进去的时候被毁掉。
Curry against Lynn. And Curry, here we go. Here's Williams. Rebound, Minnesota.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
Curry kicks to Felton. The pass to Wright. Down low. Here's Johnson. And it's Lynn with the rebound. Timberwolves trailed by 10. Outside Green. Outside Mayo. He passes to Lynn. Back to Mayo. He feeds it to Aldridge. The feed now to Lynn.
好球！
Fires the 3.
终于
That's
有
good.
空档了。
Lynn's got 22.
哦，你说好22分了。
Back that far off of a
今天
guy.
表现得很
I
好
don't。care who he is. These guys are pros. They all can shoot. D up.
Back to
7
Williams.
分差，还有机会。
Williams gets a screen from Johnson. He kicks to Felton. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss.
我们就是要打这样的球
Jordan's
才
got
可
his
以。
7th rebound here tonight. Lynn, he's covered by Felton. Then the pass to Jordan. Passes it to Aldridge. There's the dish to Mayo. 6 to
好
shoot.
球！哦，这个球空档绕出来没有进。
Mayo missing. The Hornets leading by 7. Here's Williams. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. Williams has got 5 points in the quarter. The Timberwolves have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field.
这样太可惜了。
Outside, Lynn. Feeds to Aldridge. Mayo up top. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
哦，这球空档扣完得分，哇！还有7分差。
Here's Curry. This is the Felton. He dishes it to Johnson. Clock at 4. New Orleans
最后一刻，哦什么？
Curry outside. Shot is off.
还好他没有进，进了就完。
Green dishes to Aldridge. Pass to Lynn. Back to Aldridge. Kicks to Lynn. Over Williams. Steps back. Frames the jump shot.
哇，林书豪最后投进，现在差5分，带领着灰狼队往前冲，往前。
And it's the Hornets with the ball.
带领灰狼队往前冲之外，还带领灰狼队不断的追赶，但是这样还是没办法赢球，要展现更旺盛的企图心才可以。
Outside Williams. Back to Felton. The pass to Curry.
我也有啊。
Here's Wright.
香。
And their work on the board pays off with the second chance points. Wright's got 17 points here in the second half. Outside, Lynn.
这样怎么行呢？
Feed to Green. He feeds it to Mayo. Clock at 6. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Aldridge is guarded by Johnson. And the shot clock expired. 24-second violation.
这个球因为被因为吊球，所以发生了失误，然后这个吊球失误之后就变成是24秒违规。分数还拉不够近，不好退场。
Here's Williams using his post moves to get the 2 points. And the Hornets lead by 9.
9分差。
Outside, Walker. He kicks it to Reddick. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's the 3. The Hornets pull it in. LeBron's now got his 8th rebound here tonight. The kick out to Williams. Wide open look. Another one falls for New Orleans. Timberwolves trail by 11. And Walker kicks to Reddick. Back to Walker. The dish to Aldridge. Pushes up.
好球进啊！可恶，在干嘛？
Excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
如果再这样下去，我们会输掉的。
It's too hard to keep up with the scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
Here's Walker. And that
好
one's
球进啊！
Walker's got 21.
Boy, this is a shooting exhibition, guys. I mean, he's
他们
not
没有用。
wasting any of his chances.
Williams kicks to LeBron. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. That's 28 points for LeBron.
Great move to the hoop, capped off with the finger roll. He's an outstanding finisher in close.
该死！
Trailed by 15. Walker the pass to Green. Reddick. He passes to Walker from the arc, and that one's good. Walker's got 5 points in the quarter.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
The Hornets leading by 12. Pass to Williams.
这样怎么追啊？
Feeds to LeBron. Back to Williams. shoots over Walker. And again, it's
我
Mo
们现在怎
Williams.
么投都会怎么进。
And the Hornets lead by 14.
You know, he's
2
having a
分
special
42秒，比赛要结束了。
100% field goal shooting. They need to continue to ride it and work to get him good shots.
And the
居然
Timberwolves
怎样都守不住他们，太可怕了，
Mo Williams, a former
太变态了
out
吧！
of Alabama. He's had a really nice career when you think about it. Excellent shooter. So he's pretty good from mid-range and beyond.
怎么会这样？
find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Rick Adelman gave to his team during that break. No surprise, really. The turnover situation was the focus. He told them, listen, we're giving it away, guys. We've got to protect the ball, play within ourselves, and get quality shots. Kevin?
And guys, you talk about a player like Mo
被
Williams.
接生了，
Star players love a guy who can spread the floor for them. In other words, a guy who can knock down perimeter shots whose defenders can't help off of him. And if you have a guy like Mo Williams who can shoot it that way, he's always enjoyable to play with.
LeBron kicks to Williams. Back to LeBron. Beasley with the screen on Green. And Beasley gets it to go on the assist by LeBron. LeBron's now got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him. Left side Walker. Green, the screen. They double him with LeBron. And Redick kicks to Walker. Dishes it to Redick. The three. Gets it to go. Redick's got 26.
That's a defensive let-up right there. I mean, they've got to close down on him quicker when he's in three-point range.
LeBron outside. Good, great play by
他们
Williams.
居然知道最后关头怎样都会进，
And that's now 30 points for
太
LeBron.
可怕了！
He's
我
really
彻
been
底
a
输
focus
了
of their
吗？
offensive game plan. And he's come through for his team as they've built this lead.
From downtown. And Wright pulls it down. Wright's got 11 rebounds in the game.
Well, I think one of the stories has been rebounding.
There's Williams. Right up. And that one's good. Wright's got 6 in the quarter.
Now, this is a done deal.
没办法，
Pretty much finished this team off.
Yep, we can put this one in the books. Too much to overcome now.
And the Hornets making a change here. Curry's checked in. And absolutely, Clark, they're just too tough inside.
Yeah, Kevin, they've completely dominated the boards here, and that's a major factor in what looks to be a win.
Walker dishes to Aldridge. Knocks it loose. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Valenciunas, he's checked in for LeBron. Williams comes in for Michael Beasley. Ross is checked in for Jason Terry. And Mo Williams subbed in for Steph Curry. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Trevor Booker comes in for
这时候
LaMarcus
投
Aldridge.
进没有什么用。
Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Kemba Walker. And here are the Hornets now. They led by as many as 18 points. Williams passes to Ross. He dishes it to Wright. New Orleans moving it around. And out of bounds is the Timberwolves gain possession. Timberwolves trail by 15. Valenciunas on the double team. And Booker kicks to Hill. Into Green. And stolen by Wright. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Pass to Williams. Puts it up. Shot denied. Valenciunas dishes to Williams. Again, the miss by Williams. Here's Dunleavy.
That's going to do it. I don't think they have enough time here now.
This one's in the books.
29 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Ross kicks to Williams. Left side Williams. Good. And the Hornets lead by 15.
And this one is just about over. It's going to be an easy win for them in the end.
Yep, I think they can just about put this one on cruise control for the last few seconds here.
Outside, Lynn over Williams, and there's another one for the Timberwolves. So we see
当比赛中场的比分是黄蜂队以144-131赢球，然后我们灰狼队输给了强队，没办法证明我们的实力。这样要怎么打季后？要怎么抢下分区第一或打季后赛呢？我都不知道为什么。我们的实力跟能力确实都不足啊。到底让他加护得几分呢？30分、11助攻、9篮板、7抄截，差点被他拿一个大四喜。我们第3节就熄火了，3、4、2节都是29分，但是就是抵不过他们的攻势啊。最大幅的，他们最大的领先我们18，我们首次领先球领他们2分，就再也没领先过，至少这场比赛有领先过他们。我们投篮命中率比他们高好不好？3分球也比他们高。我们发生了24次失误，真的是太惨了。然后他们得了40分。这是最不理想的状况，真的是应该要检讨。我们第3节就发生了8次失误，第4节上半场15次失误，下半场5次失误，第4节4次失误。我们的失误不理想，造成了输球的情况。我们的板凳球员得分唯一可以跟他们抗衡。团队犯规12次对2次，这是最不理想的状况。实力完全被挤压，被黄蜂队给挤压。老黄确实30分、11助攻。7抄截，然后文烟外26分、11篮板 ，Curry 今天19分，然后 Mo Williams 20分 ，Jason Terry 18分 ，Michael Beasley 13分，今天完全被他们这些人给挤压。然后我们这边林书豪也攻下了29分，虽然发生了3次失误，但是那是他本季的最佳代表作的一场比赛。JJ Redick 26分，我们都有发挥出平常的水平出来，但是就是失误比较多。Kemba Walker 今天一个人发生了7次失误，是战犯。然后 Jeff Green 15分 ，Aldridge 12分 ，Osemel 8分 ，Dunleavy 7分。古尔4分 ，Jordan 2分，唔知在创啥。空喜2分 ，Jordan Hill 2分，布克没有得分。今天的比赛就是这样。今天真的 真是输的有够惨的，惨兮兮的一场。唉，光是赢金块是不够的，我们终究只能够赢那种弱队，像小牛队这种队伍就有机会赢。接下来都是比较中等的队伍，雷霆这种队伍可能我们又要被打爆了。太阳哦，可以啊，尼克哦，看来最棘手就是这支队伍，非常的可怕。雷霆也是一支很棘手的队伍。下一场对小牛队，好，请务必加油。好，那今天就先这样咯。好啦，今天谢谢大家观赏森本实况台的转播，我们下次再见喽，拜拜。